Alright, I am Tahuti Kepura Iteru. Now, this video right here, I want to speak about this 21st century space race right here. I want to talk about this race to Mars. So now I'm going to be talking about it from these two magazines right here. So this one right here, and then this one right here. So now I want to first go through it now and talk about what he wants to do, what he wants to achieve, and then I'm going to break the mystery. Now, this is profound. There's going to be a lot of controversy in this video right here. This is profound. This is deep right here, so we're going to go for this. So now, again, we see the cover right here. He wants to go to Mars. This is what he wants to do, right? Now we're going to go for this stuff right here. So now, so again, that's the first page right there. Mars, you know. Mars, right? Right? So now, and let me see this. Again, we're going to come back to this. We're going to come back to this right here. That's interesting. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through this right here. You know. So again, this is his plan right here. He's got his whole plan laid out. He wants to go to Mars, all these different things. He's got his whole plan laid out. Right? And then again, why Mars? So another thing we're going to go through. Why Mars? And again, you see Mars right here. So now the whole thing, what he's saying is that he wants to go to Mars by 2030. By 2030, he wants to go to Mars. And by 2100, he wants to have 1 million people on Mars. Again, we're going to go through this. We're going to explain what the significance of this. Again, the space race right here. This is what he's dealing with. Right? 1 million people on Mars. Right? And then you see, again, you see his spacecrafts. And again, look at it. Interestingly enough, again, they're illustrations. Right? These are drawings right here. Again, interestingly enough, these are drawings. Illustrations right here. Again, we're gonna go through this. We're gonna go through all of this right here. Right. So again, that's pretty much. Again, oh, this is another thing. Planet types. Look at this. Planet types. Again, you see what I'm saying? So he's talking about different planet types, the types of planets. If you can see that. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Planet types, all that stuff right there. Now we're gonna go to this magazine. This one right here. We're going to quickly go for this. I really wanted to break this down. Right, but we got to show you. Again, this is enough for me to come back to this. That's interesting. We're going to come back to that. So but first we have to lay the foundation real quick. Let me quickly go to, where's the part we're looking for now? Okay, here we are. So now this part right here is just talking about different complications that go into space. Gravity, and so surviving space. Let me see. Surviving space, and then he's talking about the different complications. So he's talking about gravity, and you see that there, gravity and radiation. Again, we know all this stuff. Radiation. Again, I really want to break the mystery. And again, this one's interesting too. Look at this. Nah, let's just break this. Let's just hurry up and break this mystery right here. All right, let's just break the mystery. Okay. So now, in my last video, I spoke about how. My last video I spoke about how the word planet means wandering star. That's what it means, right? And why is it no coincidence? Why is it that all the time you see planets, it's all CG? Why is it all CG, right? Again, we're going to break the mystery. So now, if we come back to this, why is it all CG? We're going to break the mystery. Now, if we come back to that's a green screen right here. That's actually a green screen. He's not actually in space. This is a green screen, right? That's what that is. We go back to this one too, if I can find the other one, this one. Let's see if I can find it here. Quickly find it. Again. Same with this. That's a green screen, right? That's not actually the view of Earth. No, there is no International Space Station. Again, we're going to go into this. That's a green screen. Now, the whole thing with gravity here is this. The whole thing, what he's doing is that. Now, if you go into a plane, again, gravity, what it is that objects in free fall have no weight, right? Objects in free fall have no weight. So what it is that he has planes, right? That, no, it's not plane. Well, no, what he's doing is recreating the free fall of an object. That's what that's all what it is. That's what this anti-gravity chamber is. It's recreating the free fall of an object. Because when a plane goes up like that and it comes back down, when it goes up and it comes back down, at that brief moment you're in free fall. You see what I'm saying, right? or when it goes down and comes up at that brief moment, you're in free fall, and that's what, and he calls that anti-gravity, but really it's a free fall of another object. That's what it is. Objects in free fall have no weight, right? That's the whole thing. So what he's doing is he has these chambers where he recreates a free fall of an object, and he puts the green screen there and tells you he's in space, but really he's not actually in space. That's a green screen, right? You see, so that's actually a green screen. So now the whole thing with 2030, essentially him going to Mars by 2030, what he's trying to say here is that by 2030 it's over, right? By 2030 it's over. And again, this is what I was talking about in the movie, what they're calling the movie Passengers, right? Where he's only got 100 years left. This planet only has 100 years more of habitual life left, right? After 100 years, this planet will no longer be habitable, and that's the key. That's where he wants to leave. So when he's saying he wants to put 1 million people on Mars by 2100, right? 1 million people, that's a whole entire civilization. You see what I'm saying? A whole entire civilization now that could populate now and reproduce. So he's trying to say he wants to get off the planet. That's the key. By 2100, this planet is no longer going to be habitable. That's the key to this, right? That's the whole thing with Mars. That's the whole thing with him going to Mars, right? Now, again, and the reason why Mars is because, again, we're going to go deeper into this later on. The reason why Mars, again, is more believable. It's based on the science he's already told you, right? So he's told you, he said planet types, right? And this is what he said. If I can find it again now. Let's see. So again, planet types. So it ties into the lies he's already told you. You see what I'm saying? So he can't say he wants to go to Venus is because he's told you Venus and Mercury, the different kind of gassy planets, different. So he can't say he wants to go to Venus. So he's saying he wants to go to Mars based on what he's already told you, as Mars is a rocky planet, this and that. But really, they're wandering stars. They're not physical objects, right? So him saying he wants to go to Mars, it's more believable because he's told you, and that's what it comes down. It's about belief. You see what I'm saying? But again, we're gonna go deeper into this later on. We're gonna go into this. You see what I'm saying? Again, we're gonna go into this. This is why it's Mars, because again, it's more believable because it fits into the lies he's already told you that it's a rocky planet and that it's a physical object. This is how it works. Right? Okay, now this part I want to go into this part right here. So now, if you go on Google and type in pictures of Earth before 1969, right, it will show you the different images and what they believed before 1969. Because after 1969, that's when the whole images of Earth and the round ball, that's when that came into context. After 1969, right? But before 1969, what the people believed was that, or what they understood was that, they said that the Earth was the center of the universe, right? The Earth was the center of the universe, and everything revolved around the Earth. This is what they said. You see what I'm saying? But again, we're going to go into this right here. This is what they said, right? And then now I want to go into Egypt right here. So now, I can find the page now. So now, when you go into Egypt now, again, you know the story already. They said the Earth was Geb, and the sky was Nut right here. The sky was the goddess Nut. So now, let's see if we can find it again. Yeah, so the Earth was given, the sky was the goddess Nut, right? So now, the whole key to this is that the reason why he was able to even bring this forth about the whole round Earth and round planets, what it was that when the ancient people said that the Earth was the center of the universe and everything rolled around the Earth, he came and said, oh wow, these people, you know what I'm saying, they were primitive, they didn't have the technology to understand it, and now we have the technology. But the whole key is this, and this links to one of my other videos dealing with the pyramids, right? And now we now understand that the ancient Egyptians had knowledge of alchemy, right? But the whole thing with alchemy is that, and the transmuting of matter, you would have to have a knowledge of quantum physics, quantum mechanics. That's how they were even able to do that stuff. Quantum physics and quantum mechanics. But this is the same quantum physics and quantum mechanics that he uses, supposedly uses, to come to the whole conclusion about the Earth, Mars, and all these different things right here. This is what he's supposed to use. But again, the Egyptians had this science, and these same people who had the science of quantum physics, quantum mechanics, right? This is what they said. They said that it was just stars. That's all you would see. All they would see was stars. That's all you would see up there. You see what I'm saying? This is what they said. They never talk about planets or planets being physical objects. That's not what they said. You see what I'm saying? So going back to this now, as I was saying before, the ancient Egyptians now, the same people that had knowledge of quantum physics, quantum mechanics, they never said there were physical planets up there. All they said, it was just stars. That's all they said. You see? But now I want to go deep into this. So now, let's see, where was it now? Where was it? Let's see, okay. So now I want to go back to this now. So now I want to break the mystery. So now, why is it that they call the planets celestial bodies? Why did they refer to planets as bodies? Why did they refer to them as bodies? And it all comes back to this right here. It was because it was the body of the goddess Nut. The sky was the goddess Nut. You see, but the whole thing with the sky here is this. Again, we're going to go into this. Let me see what we're at. Okay. So we're going to go into this right here. So now, you have celestial bodies and then you have heavenly bodies, right? So celestial, so in that context, the word celestial and heavenly is interchangeable. Heaven was the sky. And the reason being because they understood that this was the shithole, this was hell. But again, we're going to go further into this. This was the shithole. So what it was that anywhere but here was heaven, must be heaven. You see what I'm saying? That must be heaven. So he said that which was above is heaven. You see what I'm saying? So the heavenly bodies, celestial bodies, right? So that's where it even comes from. So again, the reason why they call them celestial bodies, the planet's bodies, is referring to the body of the goddess Nut, right? So now I want to break the ultimate reality right here. I want to break the truth right here. So the ultimate truth is that what you see is what you get. So when you look up the sky and you see stars, that's all that there is. That's literally all that there is. What you see is what you get. Now I want to say something right here now. Now this part, when I first tapped into this, it kind of, you know what I'm saying? It was deep. It was profound even for myself when I first tapped into this. Now again, I don't know how some of you are going to take this, but the ultimate reality here is this. There is no solar system. There is no solar system. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, when I say solar system, as far as the Earth, and then you got... Let me put this book down. When I say solar system, as far as the Earth and the different planets and its orbiting, that's garbage. There is no orbits. There is no solar system. That's the key to this. That's the whole key. So when he's saying that the different orbits, there are no orbits, the sky is artificial, right? The sky is artificial. I want to go into this right here. There is no solar system. Again, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but that's where we're at right here. Now I want to show you something else. So now this is what I want to get into right here. So now this right here, this right here, that's garbage. Now the whole thing with clouds are man-made. Clouds are artificial. That's the whole thing with the clouds. Again, what he's doing, he's creating the sky. He's creating the sky. The sky is man-made, and the reason being is because what he's trying to do. So he's trying to say that it's earth, sky, cosmos, but to the ancients now, the sky was the cosmos. There was no distinction. You see what I'm saying? So the sky that you see today with the clouds on it, that's garbage. That's man-made. You see what I'm saying? That's artificial. The sky is artificial. You see what I'm saying? And that's another thing I wanted to discuss, dealing with comets right here now. Let's be honest with ourselves right here. Have we ever seen a comet? Have we ever seen a comet? And what we'll find is that the ultimate reality is, again, the same thing with the comets. It's CG. It's all CG. There are no comets. And that's another thing. That's another mystery right there. There are no comets. You see what I'm saying? It's all part, again, it's all part of this big lie right here. It's all part of this lie. But we're going to break the mystery on why he's even doing this in the first place. We're going to break the mystery. So again, you see this astro right here. It's all CG. Look at this. It's CG. It's not reality. You see what I'm saying? There are no comets. There are no asteroids. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds crazy, but that's the ultimate reality. You see what I'm saying? So again, now what was interesting in this book, now it kept mentioning movies. It kept making references to science fiction movies, passages. It spoke about passages in this book as well. It kept making references to movies, and that's the key. Because what again? Now let me break this down. The whole mystery here is this: it's science fiction. What he's doing is taking science fiction that's not real science, right, and he's trying to make it seem like it's real science, but it's really science fiction. It's actually science fiction. That's the whole key to it, right? Again, like I said, there are no orbits. The sky is artificial. You see what I'm saying? That's the key, right? As above, so below. If orbits happening up there, then show me an orbit down here. Show me orbits down here. Show me where a larger object, right, and a smaller object is revolving around this larger object due to this kind of orbit, this gravitational force. Show me this down here, but you can't show me this. You see what I'm saying? Because that's garbage. That's the key. That's the mystery, right? So now I want to break it all down right here. So what it is a high form of magic and mind control. Now in ancient times, the way the magic and the priesthood would work in ancient times is that the masses of the people, they were illiterate, right? The masses of the people, they were illiterate, and the priest, right, he could read and write. The masses of the people couldn't read or write. So when the priest was, and they would have the knowledge of the stars and the cosmos, and they would say, you know, this and this is happening, it's the gods, it's this and that, and the people couldn't understand the language that they were speaking. Yeah, they could understand the language, but because they were illiterate, they couldn't really break down the language that they were dealing with. So that, you know, it's the same saying, but what's happening now is that it's a new form of that old magic and mind control. What it is that that's why they had the complex mathematics and all the physics to it. They add the complex mathematics and the physics to it. It's a language that you don't understand. So you say, oh, that must be true, that must be real, you know? That must be real, Dr. Heisenberg, that must be real. I don't understand what you just said, so that must be real, and that's the key. It's a high form of magic and mind control. The people are illiterate to that mathematics and physics and stuff that he's using, that language that he's speaking. The people are illiterate to it. So he can tell you gravitational force, relativity, and all this garbage, and the people are illiterate to it, so that makes it more believable. And that's the key. When there is no planets, they're not physical, they're wandering stars, but it makes it more believable. You see what I'm saying? Right. So now what's another thing I want to discuss? Again, it makes it more believable. And if I show you this right here, if we go back to what I was looking at before, if you can find it now. Again, I should really mark these pages, but I mean, if we go back to what we was dealing with before, what I said I was going to come back to. And again, it's about belief. That's the key. It's all about belief. It's all about belief. That's the key to this. I'm not gonna find it now. Let me see, might be this one. It's all about belief. That's the key. There we go. Here we are. So again, it's all about belief. So again, we know now that he's never been to space. But you say, why is he making spacesuits? Again, it's all about belief. If you want to go to space, make some spacesuits. You gotta have some spacecraft. So it's all about the belief. Because if I were to say this now, people would think I'm crazy. And the reason why you think I'm crazy is because what about all the spaceships, Toyota? What about all the spaceships? What about all the spacesuits? Again, it's all about belief. That's how he feeds the belief. That's how he makes it a reality, because by giving you this, when that's still garbage, you see what I'm saying? So again, that's the reality of it. It's all about belief. But now, the ultimate truth here is this. Now, I've mentioned this in another video, but I want to break this down. And I said this in another video. What I said was that the ultimate reality, there is no Earth. This is not an Earth, right? That's the key to it. So now, they told you that this was Gaia, right? This was Gaia and this was Terra, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but this is Tartarus, and that's the key. This is Tartarus. So that's why he's manufactured the sky. This is why I told you all these different things, because what he's trying to do is take away from the fact that this is Tartarus. the lowest plane of existence, the lowest, the dimensional plane, the underworld. This is where we are. All there is Earth, right? Not Earth, but all there is this plane of existence. What you see is what you get. There is no Earth. So when they said that the Earth was the center of the universe and everything revolves around you, that is exactly what it is. So now when he's saying, oh, are we alone? Yes, we are alone. We are alone in Tartarus. That's the key. You see what I'm saying? That's the ultimate reality of it. This is the underworld, right? There are no planets out there. This is the only thing that exists. And that's the only thing that's supposed to exist, because this is Tartarus. And what it was, the ancients understood that it was planes of existence. And there was higher, that's why they never spoke about planets, but they spoke about planes, different dimensional planes, right? And there was higher dimensional frequencies, and that's what it was. But we are on the lowest plane of existence. There is no Mars, there is no physical planets, there is none of that crap, right? That's the ultimate reality. We are in the underworld, that's where we are. And he's put the chemtrails now to create the sky now to make you think we're on Earth and all these things, but that's garbage. You see what I'm saying? This is Tartarus, and that's what the ancients understood. You see what I'm saying? So again, what this white man has managed to do, he's managed to give meaning to the meaningless existence. This is what he's done, right? He's managed to give meaning to the meaningless existence, the meaningless reality. He's managed to give it meaning. So he's told you about the different planets and the universe, and all that's garbage. The different galaxies, that's trash. That's all garbage. It's all lies. That's the key to it. It's all lies. The only thing that is what the Egyptians said. This physical plane that you see and the stars, and that's nothing more. This physical plane, the sun, the moon, the stars, that's it. There is nothing else out there. This is Tartarus. This is the underworld. You see. But again, he's tricked you and told you that this was Gaia, this is Terra. No, it's not. This is Tartarus. You see what I'm saying? So again, he's managed to give meaning to this meaningless existence. This is what he's managed to do. You see what I'm saying? He's managed to give it meaning. When there is no meaning to this, it's Tartarus. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key. So again, the whole thing with Mars is what he's doing is high magic and mind control. He's using a language that you can't understand. You are illiterate to the language he's using. Therefore, it must be real. And therefore, you make it real. So he's hoping that you can create a Mars and make it physical. Therefore, he can go to Mars. And the reason why it's 2030 is because it's over. By 2030, it's over. 2100, this planet will no longer be habitable. So he's pulling it in your face right there. If he's once put 1 million people on Mars by 2100, this planet will no longer be habitable. That's the key. And by 2030, it's over. So that's the ultimate reality. You see what I'm saying? You know, that's the ultimate reality right here. So again, it's really just, I really just had to break that down. I know it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for some people to really, you know, take that in. But that's the ultimate reality of it. It's all lies. You see what I'm saying? So again, I know this video is controversial. I know, you know, there's a lot of stuff in this one, but again, it's gonna be hard to really digest some of this stuff, but that's the ultimate reality. Alright. So again, alright people, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope there's some good information. Alright. Alright, black people. Thanks for watching.